oh my, it's been a weekend of content here on the channel. I am back at it again with another review, this time for Charlie Day's directorial debut, Fool's Paradise. I will be telling you if it's worth a watch or worth a skip. So let's get into the story. So this is an interesting feature as it does not have a true narrative. It does not have a plot. And I think that's why a lot of people aren't really liking this film, due to its lack of a cohesive narrative, and it's really just a fun time watch. It's something that it's a film where you sit down at the theater and you have a laugh with your friends. It's not boring, but it's also not like overly entertaining. I'll explain it more as we get deeper into it. But right off the bat, story is a Hot Pocket score due to the fact that there is no, honestly, there's not even a score for the story because it doesn't really have one. It does not have no overarching narrative, but it does have character growth throughout it all. Pretty much, Charlie Day is this person found in this mental asylum who has lost the ability to speak. He can hear, he can interact with the world, but some traumatic event has changed him and he's not willing to speak anymore. And so he just gets let loose into the world and does whatever the hell he wants to, or whatever the hell anyone else wants him to do. So this leads into the cinematics, where this film is very limited in its cinematics. There's a good soundtrack, fairly decent soundtrack behind it. The score is there. It's pretty funny. It is mostly reliant on visual comedy and not really jokes, which is a nice change of pace for these comedy films that are coming out nowadays. I really like how it's more of a visual comedy movie rather than a joke comedy movie, because jokes don't really translate while visual comedy can typically stand across multiple languages. So with cinematics, I'm gonna give it a Hot Pocket score, mostly due to the fact that there isn't really much to witness. But when it comes to the directing of it all, it is, I think, a pretty solid directorial debut for Charlie Day. It is quite an interesting idea to make for a first film, as this seems like a more complex, experienced type of film to go right off the bat and make, as this moves at a breakneck pace throughout the story of our main character. I'm not even going to say the character's name because it's just too funny, and I think it's better if you just witness it for yourselves. But it's like it goes through hyperspace, through years of this character's journey in life, and as he meets all these very colorful characters that all just really great in my own eyes. They're all solid watches. The directing, I'll give it a hand grenade score, because I will rewatch this. This is very much a movie where you turn it on in the background. You won't hear much, but whenever you look over to the screen, you'll be entertained with what you see, because it is a very bright and colorful movie. It's very entertaining to look at and see. The acting, boy oh boy, I think there wasn't a single performance I did not like in this film. Although I don't think it was really because the script was great. I think it's just because it looked like every single actor who was on the project was having fun with it. And sometimes that's all you need, especially on an actor's directorial debut. It looked like he grabbed a bunch of friends to be in this film. And honestly, I love Charlie Day. I love Jason Sudeikis. I like Jason Bateman. I love Ken Jeong. I love a lot of the actors in this film. And I had a good time watching them all have fun on the screen, and it just gets batshit insane, and they all bring their own touch of charisma to their roles. And honestly, I wouldn't doubt if a lot of this was improvised. And it's fun. It's just fun. there is not much to it. It's not very deep film. The performances don't make you go, oh, what a shamble on society this is and how Hollywood is ruined. It's very much based on just sitting down, turning your brain off, and eating some popcorn. This movie is just that. Like, I can understand both sides of the argument, like, oh, I hated this, oh, I love this. It's very much just there for you to just turn brain off, watch, and go every once in a while. And so, easy hand grenade score for the acting. Now, my expectations and experience. This was funnier than I expected. I wasn't expecting it to be this funny, mostly due to the fact that I expected it to be very quippy and told joke driven, when I noticed that it was all going to be mostly like slapstick and body humor, like movement-based humor. It very much pleased me because that was a different change of pace than what I was expecting, and that made it so much more funny. And Charlie Day is a very funny man, and I just really enjoyed this film. I know a lot of people probably haven't enjoyed it or won't enjoy it as much as I did, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. So that's another hand grenade score. So, you know what? Overall, this is a certified hand grenade movie, because I really can't think of any other movie like this. It gives me some Once Upon a Time in Hollywood vibes every once in a while, but I think that's just because they are both very similar in the sense of they're both set in Hollywood, and they both don't really have an overarching plot to drive the narrative forward. Although Once Upon a Time in Hollywood does have pieces that lead together for an overarching story and a climactic conclusion, while this one just has climactic situations all throughout the plot. It's like a TV show, but 3 seasons worth in one film. And it's just in my opinion, it's just a fun time. So with that, leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment down below if you're planning on seeing it, what your thoughts were on the film if you saw it, and without any other said, I guess I'll leave you guys to it.